Broadcasting live from the Immerstrom on the plain of Vala, this is Tap Tap Concede. I like coming up with those, with what cards those are going to be in the video intro. Last week it actually had something to do with the episode. The week before that, absolutely not.
Yeah. No. Didn't the week before that, it's actually tapping an enchantment?
Yeah. Yeah, it was last week as well. Well, one of them was Fast Bond.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. You can maybe someone's used Relzeric to tap a permanent. Who knows?
Sure.
And they're stupid.
And they're stupid.
And they're terrible.
Welcome to another episode of Tap Tap Concede. I'm Graham.
I'm James.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Kathleen. There was a small arms race there. Paul and I looked at each other.
Who will say their name first? And welcome to another, I already said, welcome to another Tap Tap Concede. This week, James is going to be talking to us a little bit about his experiences at GP Portland.
Woo!
Which will be fun. We haven't yet, at the time that we're recording this, we haven't yet got any of your feedback on the last week's episode about Highlander and Budgetlander, but I'm very excited to see what you think about that. And our apologies for the audio crackle. We're not entirely sure what happened there. Obviously, we didn't notice until it was over, and we can't. Serge is leaving town in like a week, and he's super busy, so we couldn't bring him and Alex back in to record another whole hour of stuff. So
yeah.
Hopefully it's not too distracting.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that episode, so I hope that hopefully you were able to soldier through the crackle. Yeah. So speaking of crackle.
Let's crackle a packle.
Let's
crackle that packle. What packle are we crackling today, Kathleen?
We are cracking a package of Nemesis.
Ooh.
This is expert level. Comes with 15 additional cards.
Everything is expert level.
Is there flavor text? Can I read the flavor text?
There's not flavor text.
No?
I looked.
Yeah, I don't think there was flavor text.
No, well, I'm just looking for... Trust me, I'm not lying to you. There's no flavor text.
What block is this from?
This is copyright 2000.
Is this in the same block as... Is this in the invasion block?
I think it's...
onslaught?
That's what I was going to say, the invasion block, but I don't know if that's actually right.
All right, Kathleen, you crack it open. We'll take a look at what block this is from.
I never get to crack these. Woo! Okay, well, the symbol is like a little hatchet. So...
Oh, yes. It's the...
Okay.
It's like a... It's a type of pole arm that I don't recall offhand. It looks like a falchion or something.
Yeah.
All right. What you
anyhow,
got?
this is before I started playing Magic.
Ooh,
so.
very wrong. Masks.
Mask.
Oh, this is from Mask block.
This is the second.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. There's a mask right there on
Nemesis.
the Nemesis.
Prophecy.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
We were off.
All right.
Masks block was busted.
Yeah, masks, well, it's busted in the wrong way, though. It's known for being very low power.
Oh, right. I'm thinking of...
Because it came right after Urza's.
Right, where
they're like, whoa.
And they broke everything with Urza's, and they're like, okay, tone it down.
It's kind of like...
And then everyone was like, masks kind of suck.
That's kind of like what happened to Scars of Mirrodin. Because after Zendikar, which was just like so powerful and so aggressive, they're like, well, bring it back down.
And then I believe Invasion was after masks, where they kind of brought it back up to the normal level.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
well,
let's see what we got.
First of all, we have a white card. It's 3 and 2 white for the Silken Fist Order. And they're soldiers, but they look like elves.
That sounds nice.
I know. These guys are nice. They're a 3/5 for 5, which isn't great. But whenever they become blocked, untap it, which is like Vigilance, but worse.
I like that, actually. Because that's like, that either makes them, that forces them to take 3, or your guy gets to untap, and they're going to be hard to kill in combat.
Oh, yeah.
They actually seem fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the double white is a little awkward, but whatever.
And for 5, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I'm not going to first pick this, but...
Consider the similarity between those guys and the Nav Squad Commandos from Gatecrash, which are a 3/5 for 5. The Nav Squad Commandos are 4 and white. And whenever you trigger Battalion...
You untap them.
You untap them.
And you're not gonna.
They also turn into a 4/6 when you get Battalion and untap them. But still.
So I mean that's a big difference.
Yeah.
But.
Now, having said that, especially in Gatecrash, the Nav Squad Commandos were never a high pick. I would rather not run them in my Boros
like a
deck.
20-second card.
And when there's Battalion, it totally makes changes the math a lot.
In Nemesis.
Yeah, they're fine.
This seems all right. All right, what's next?
Flowstone Surge. It's an enchantment for 1 red and 1. Creatures you control get +1, -1. which is
I like it.
useful, but not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the relative size of red creatures in this, because that kills a lot of goblins.
Yeah, but it's cheap, and seems good for an aggro deck where your guys are going to be dying anyway.
Yeah, and Krovax here is on the card, which is cool. I know him.
Neat.
But yeah, like seems like it facilitates trades, right?
So these are actually the uncommons. So I think this one might be ordered uncommon, 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 rare, and then the commons.
If that's
so
the case,
if
I'll
that's the
put the
case,
rare at the end.
save the rare.
Oh, weird.
Battlefield Percher. Okay, this straight up fails vanilla test. It's 3 and 2 black, so it's CMC 5 for a 2/2.
Bad.
But it flies.
Better.
He's a bird.
Can only block creatures with flying.
Not as good.
Not so good.
But after paying all that mana to get it out, you can also pay an additional 1 and a black to give it +1/+1 until end of turn.
Oh, he's got the shade ability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's like a flying shade, but can only block.
Yeah,
He seems fine.
I
You'd probably run him, but you
He's
wouldn't want to. All right.
Percher is a weird.
I'm a perch on you.
Yeah, it's really the flying is really his main task,
Anyone,
not the perching.
I can perch.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, what you got?
All right. This could actually be good in your common cube, your pauper cube. Lightbringer, 2 colorless and a white. He's a 2/2 for 3. Tap and sacrifice Lightbringer. Remove target black creature from the game.
Exile a black guy.
Yep.
Wow.
That's really useful. I mean, like, that's kind of sideboardy, but
Yeah.
like that seems good.
Yeah, for your black hate.
This is something I would not put in your pauper cube. Infiltrate, 1 blue. Target creature is unblockable this turn at instant.
Strictly worse than Artful Dodge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or wait, is Artful Dodge a sorcery?
Well, this is an instant.
Why do you need... Yeah, wait.
That's an instant.
Why is
Yeah.
making a creature unblockable at instant speed... You still have to cast it during your attacker's step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, having it
Having it be an instant doesn't help.
No.
not
really
really.
now.
No, this card's dumb.
You could do it in response to something.
If they do something during your attack
I
step...
guess. Yeah. No, it seems kind of weird.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like if they make. No, they wouldn't do
No,
it during your attack
it's,
step.
no,
yeah,
it's bad.
they would block
It's-
first
it's
and then
not
do
good.
some
That sounds
new
terrible.
combat trick. Yeah.
Meanwhile, moving on. Laccolith Grunt. 1 red and 2 colorless. LACCOLITH.
See, this is why I ask these things.
Yeah.
That is not how I would have guessed.
CC. All right.
I don't know. Anyhow, the Laccolith Grunt is a 2/2 for 3. It is whenever he becomes blocked, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to target creature. If you do, Laccolith Grunt deals no combat damage this turn. You're kind of like an Ashmouth Hound.
That's the super duper first strike.
That's different. But yeah. So like they either let him through and take 2, or they block him, and you can deal 2 damage to any of their creatures. Not even the one that blocked him.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you do that, of course, it doesn't deal damage to the one that does block him. So maybe
He's probably going to die.
So maybe that is the one you want to kill. Maybe you do maybe you do have it be first or strike.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that they can block and you can kill a different creature.
Yeah.
For 3, that's not bad actually.
No, he seems fine.
This is really weird.
He just attacks. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't attack well into anything with more than 2 toughness, though.
And
Because
he's
if
a
they have like,
3-drop, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, you always get the 2 out of it no matter what. Though.
it's damage equal to its power. So consider if you have the Flowstone Surge out, he's a 3/1.
that's true.
Yeah.
So
And
he's gonna trade with anything anyway.
or you
Yeah.
giant growth him or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's you don't have to pay anything
Speaking
to use this.
Speaking of giant growth,
Yeah, Seal of Strength for 1 green. It's an enchantment, but here's how it works. You put it out, and it doesn't do anything. But when you sacrifice it, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn.
so there was a cycle of seals that they did, seal enchantments, that were like cards that sort of on layaway.
Yeah.
That like you pay for them now and they're out there, and so the advantage that you gain from not having to spend the mana on them that turn is the trade-off for your opponent knows that it's there, and
That's a bad
that
trade.
it can happen
That's a
any
terrible
time.
trade.
It's very
It's
bad.
it's not great, but yeah, obviously this is giant growth. There's also one that is lightning bolt.
I would much rather surprise
Like,
someone with a
I
giant growth.
feel like
But
this
then-
is just a giant growth that your opponent sees coming now. If
Yeah.
it was like plus,
Yeah, but
like
then-
plus 4, plus
But
5.
now
but
it's got
there's-
like the threat of activation.
Exactly.
right?
It's true.
There's something to be said for forcing your opponent to play around something
Yeah.
as well, and not having to spend the mana on it.
It's almost like your hand is one card bigger, but you have to reveal that card. Really,
Yeah.
like you can just imagine it as like a giant growth in your hand.
Yeah,
All right, fair enough.
I'm okay with it.
All right. Bola Warrior, 1 red and 1, so CMC 2. Bola Warrior is a spell shaper. And for red and tap him, discard a card from your hand. Target creature can't block this turn.
He is in fact a human spell shaper warrior.
Interesting.
I don't like that.
No, that seems bad.
I mean, it's like, I guess
So-
if you want to pitch mana late in the game, but I don't want to do that early when you're playing a 2-drop.
Spell Shapers is a thing that you discard a card to do a thing.
Yeah.
It's Jaya Ballard Task Mage is a Spell Shaper.
And you got to tap him to do it, so it's not like you can chuck your whole hand and he can't block and you alpha strike and kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like
So-
that guy.
All right.
All right. Here's an interesting thing. This is very similar to Infiltrate. This is Off Balance, which is 1 white for an instant. Target creature can't attack or block this turn.
That's better than Infiltrate. Like I don't think it's worth a card,
No.
but
No.
you can make one of their guys not attack. Like if Fog isn't worth a card, as Marshall has told us on numerous occasions, then
Yeah.
Fog, your one guy, is also definitely.
When you
not worth
consider
it.
like the blue
No.
has, tap a guy, tap 2 guys, and they don't untap next turn.
Yeah. The falter effect, making a guy not block, is fine, but I don't know.
Hey, here's a cute one. This is a Fibblethip looker. Like, you make sure you get this one, Paul, on screen, because he reminds me of
What's his name?
Fibblethip. He's
They probably haven't reprinted him.
Oh, okay. This is Sneaky Homunculus. He's a blue, 1
They
blue
have.
and 1
Oh.
for a 1/1.
Wait,
He's
let
an
me get the right
illusion.
one.
Sneaky Homunculus can't block or be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater.
Ah.
We.
So he is
he gets through there.
He has been retconned to be a creature homunculus illusion.
All right.
Sure.
Homunculus has got to be one of those creature types that doesn't show up that often.
Yeah, I think most homunculi are tokens. Although the doorkeeper, please don't die.
I'm trying not to.
The doorkeeper is a homunculus.
Oh, really?
And the Stitcher's Apprentice from Innistrad
Yeah.
is a homunculus.
All right.
But this is interesting. I actually also really like this card, but I really like removal. This is Vicious Hunger, which is 2 black. It's a
So
sorcery.
It's black.
Yeah, black. So, I mean, I'd like this better instant speed a lot, actually. Vicious Hunger deals 2 damage to target creature. You gain 2 life. So it's removal.
Paul, could you look up Sorin's Thirst for me?
Yeah.
The flavor text should be, "I'm crushing your head."
Because this sounds
yeah.
exactly like Sorin's Thirst,
Yeah, it does.
but possibly Sorin's
So
Thirst
this is 2 damage, target creature gain 2 life for 2
2.
black.
for black.
For black.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Is
So-
Sorin's Thirst an instant?
Yes.
Okay, so strictly worse than Sorin's Thirst.
Okay,
Yeah, Soren Thirst. Yeah, it's just better.
All right, fair
all right,
enough.
Well, I really like Soren's Thirst, so that's probably why I like Vicious Hunger.
Ooh, 1 of 3 of this creature type. Wait. I've seen the card. So we were talking about creature types a couple episodes ago. There's a creature in Dragon's Maze that shows up. That there's 3 of them. There's 1 in Dragon's Maze. There's 1 in original Ravnica block, and there's this guy. Can you think of what it is?
Is this the
He's in Boros
What?
as well.
No.
No, in this creature type?
No. He's not that creature type
Oh.
anymore. He's that and another creature type, but it's the name. Sorry, it's not. It's not strictly the subtype, like the name of the card. There's only 3 of these kinds of creatures, not actually Oracle subtype.
I don't know.
Is this the hippogriff
Nope.
thing? No.
This is
I don't know.
a plant hound.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
never would have gotten that.
Exactly. No. But it's the
What's
it's the moss dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
So in Dragon's Maze, there's the thrashing moss dog,
Yeah.
And in original Ravnica block, there was a something else Moss Dog. And this is...
The Moss Dog.
Oh, it's just a Moss Dog?
Gennaro Moss Dog. He's a 1/1 for 1. But
Yeah,
he's-
sorry. The subtypes are Plant Hound.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But
obviously
okay.
there's other plants and other hounds. But this is...
Interesting.
There's only 3 Moss Dogs.
But this guy is, well, I don't know. He's a 1/1 for 1, which is already not something I'm super excited to play. But whenever Moss Dog becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So,
Sure.
you know, if it lives.
I mean,
Nobody
if it was
cares, though.
whenever he becomes a target of a spell or ability, so you could pump him yourself,
No,
that
an
would be very
opponent
interesting.
controls,
I know,
though.
but like that would be interesting. But as it is, I don't
No,
know.
that card's bad.
So, just so you know, Moss Dog, the one that Kathleen just said, whenever it becomes target of spell or ability, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Greater Moss Dog in original Ravnica block was obviously a Golgari card. It was a 3/3 for 3 and a green with Dredge 3. And then the Thrashing Moss Dog is also a 3/3 for 3 and a green with Reach and Scavenge.
Right.
So they're
Okay. Yeah.
also, the flavor text on Greater Moss Dog is fantastic.
Man's best fungus.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Here is. Oh, this card's bad. All right, so this is 1 black and 1 for Parallax Dementia. It's an enchantment with fading 1. It comes into play with 1 fade counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a fade counter from it, and if you can't, sacrifice it. So you get this for 2 turns.
Yep.
Okay. Right?
Yep.
And its enchanted creature gets +3/+2.
Okay.
That's not bad. I mean, I don't really want to pay 2 mana for something that's going to stick around for 2 turns.
Yep. I'm talking to the mic.
But when Parallax Dementia leaves play, destroy enchanted creature. That creature can't be regenerated.
That's Garbo.
This is terrible.
I mean,
Like,
it's kind of
You're
weirdo.
2 for 1ing yourself.
Well, you don't need to put it on your own creature, but
Yeah.
it's like super sketchy removal.
Oh no, I don't like
The
this
beginning
at
of
all.
your upkeep, remove a fade counter from it.
Yeah.
So
you
hang on. So you play it, and,
Yeah.
and you pass the turn, and they get their guy +3/+2.
Yep.
Then it's your turn, and you remove a fade counter, and they still have their guy. And then you pass back, and they still
Still
have
have it.
their guy.
Yeah.
And then it's your turn, and you can't remove a counter, and it dies.
It dies.
So they can,
So they
they
get-
can attack twice.
They get 2 full turns with this +3/+2 guy before
Yeah,
they lose
you
their
make their bomb better for
But
2
I mean,
turns.
yeah, exactly. Like if you can chump block their bomb for 2 turns, it just goes away. It's super sketchy. I'm not saying it's
Like,
good.
I feel
but
like
that's like
I feel like that's basically how it's supposed to be used.
it's either that or you know that if you give a creature of yours +3, and that's the important part for 2 turns, that will be enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It seems very
this is not a
situational.
card I would play in any other circumstance.
Or maybe this is a thing where you want to trade up. Like you want to you're gonna trade off this creature anyhow because it's outclassed.
Yeah.
You throw an enchantment on a creature, like typically people are gonna block that creature more aggressively, to get it out of the way. So maybe you're thinking
Yeah.
I can.
Or I mean, you throw this on, a 1 or 2 drop that isn't doing anything on turn
Exactly.
6 or 7.
yeah, and so now
you've
he's
given
like
you've given him some life.
now he's
now
a
he's like a-
5/4.
Yeah, no-
he can stabilize your side of the board, take out a big guy.
Exactly. He's a good blocker for 2 turns and gives you a chance to draw something
And
else. So I mean, it's not good. I don't think.
No,
But
I
knows?
there's very few.
It's an F.
Yeah.
it's an F.
Thank
D
you.
minus. D minus.
All right.
We'll come back to it once the
Okay.
format once it matures. We'll
B
see how
plus.
it works out.
Oh.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, here's another layaway. Seal of Cleansing, which is 1 white and 1. It's an enchantment. Sacrifice Seal of Cleansing. Destroy target artifact or enchantment.
It's disenchant. No, not disenchant. It's
Yeah, disenchant.
does disenchant do artifacts as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's disenchant. Yay.
Yeah, that's his.
Yay.
All right, next.
Yeah.
And finally,
I mean, the interesting thing about this one is you play it, and then they have a whole hand full of artifacts, right? And then they're like that they can't play, that they're just going to start building up, and then of course they play out their worst one, you kill it, and then they play out their scary thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Okay.
All right.
it's not
The
good.
rare.
The rare, Arar. Divining Witch. And it's clearly a man on this card. But Divining Witch
Dudes can be witches. What are you saying?
for 1 black and 1. He's another spell shaper. He's a 1/1. So he's okay on the vanilla test. Now, for 1 black, for another 1 colorless and 1 black, you can tap him and you discard a card from your hand, which is the spell shaper thing. Name a card. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal the named card, and then put that card into your hand. Remove all other cards revealed this way from the game.
What?
So it's
what card is this?
This is like the dredge deck can use something like this.
Except it
There's a
doesn't put it
card-
into your graveyard. These get exiled.
No, they get exiled. It's really
Oh,
bad
do
for
they?
dredge.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There's a card
This
that
is a
does
non-bow.
this. I was talking to Alex about it. He runs it in one of his Highlander decks. That you exile the top 6 and then you go looking for a card. But if you exile it in Highlander, it's singleton. So if you exile it in those top 6, you just lose
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
because you just drill through your whole deck and exile everything
Okay.
because you don't find.
Yeah.
So and I wish I could remember what card this is, but yeah, there's a card that does the same thing. It's a weird ability.
This seems like there are ways to make this work in like some janky constructed combo, but this is like a Z minus for limited, like unplayable.
I agree.
Z minus.
Speaking,
the combo with this guy is does it Laboratory Maniac?
oh yeah,
Yeah, anything that you want to empty your
That is the worst combo of all time.
you shut your face.
You were fired. Get out.
Speaking of janky constructed combos, James, tell us about modern GP Portland.
So first off, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact, because I'm not sure. I assume you talked about it, but did you mention that we were on limited resources last week in the last podcast?
No, because we weren't yet on it when we recorded it. Or were we?
We would have been, because we were recorded Thursday night, and you guys would have
I thought we
recorded on
did mention
Friday.
it.
Did we? I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, well, I will mention it again just
Please
in
do.
case. So when I went to GP Portland last weekend, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I went down on Thursday night, and Marshall was nice enough to let me crash at his place, and he invited both me and Graham to be on last week's episode of Limited Resources, which was a lot of fun.
I like that the episode is called LR plus LR.
Yeah. So we spent probably about an hour cracking packs. We did a we did a Dragon's Maze pack, and then we decided, Marshall was like, you know what we should do? We should do what you guys do.
Yeah.
And we ended up cracking an Ice Age pack.
Yeah, I picked Ice Age because we had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And it was when we played originally.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then talked about just
how terrible the Ice Age packs were.
how terrible the Ice Age packs was. And then we actually got into the meat of the episode, and we talked about basically just sort of where me and Graham have come from in terms of improving our game and what resources we use and important milestones sort of along the way that we've hit. He really felt that the two of us are great examples of his core audience, and was really excited to get people.
You take that back.
Yeah. Excited to get sort of the normals on his show, so to speak, and not so much the experts. He fixed that by this week having Zach Hill on, who designed the current set. So
Wow.
he's pretty smart. So that was fun. So you go to lrcast.com and you can find the episode from last week, and it was a lot of fun.
There's a lot of good recommendations in there for other people to watch as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to GP Portland, and
what did you play in Modern?
I played Limited. It's this cool deck where I didn't play in the main event and just played in side events. So I don't play Modern. None of us do.
Nope.
Modern isn't huge in Victoria, although it's gaining traction, and I'm sure Modern Masters will help with that. But in the meantime, I could have had a deck. I had a couple people be like, you can borrow my deck. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't know how to play it. I don't have time to practice. And I wouldn't know half the crap that I was going up against. Just because I've paid attention to the format, but not a great deal.
That's probably the thing that would scare me the most.
Yeah.
Like someone could hand me a Modern deck, and if they, were like, it's this kind of deck, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
I can, sure,
Yeah.
I can pilot this deck, but
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what to
and-
face or
exactly.
like when you're supposed to interrupt the storm deck or
Exactly.
And
And I was just like, this is too much. I will not make day 2. I will not. I will play the first 3 rounds. I'd be lucky to eke out with a 1 and 2, and then I'd be one match away from just dropping. So I'm like, you know what? I won't bother. I'll just play in side events all weekend. So I played in a lot. The night we got there, I joined a regular RTR, or like a regular Ravnica block sealed, which is 2 packs of each. It was 4 rounds. I played for 2 and then got hungry, and everybody else left, so I left. But I went 2-0 with a Bant deck, which was pretty fun. I like those color combinations in this.
And
what's
Bant, just as a shorthand, Bant is
white, blue, green.
Yeah.
Nice.
So sort of Selesnya, Populate, and Simic and
Azorius.
Although
like
it was
good
lighter
combo.
on the Azorius and more sort of a Simic Selesnya thing, which was
Nice.
cool because like the tokens like evolve the guys and the things, and
I really like doing that in the.
Yeah, it seems like a good combo.
This is-
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this on the limited resources, but I liked that in the Dragon's Maze pre-release. I picked Rakdos and I got Dimir as my secret ally. So this was the online pre-release. So I had a lot of Rakdos and a lot of Dimir, but because I'm running Rakdos and Dimir, I can also run Izzet just because I'm already playing
Right.
black, blue, and black red cards, meaning I've got the blue and I've got the red. So I had like 1 or 2 blue cards in there as well, because why not?
yeah. So that was the first night, and then the second day, I believe my first event was standard sealed. Just because I was like, yeah, it's fun that I've never done standard sealed. So
Standard sealed is it's a sealed with, so you get 6 boosters, and it's one of every booster in standard.
correct, minus the core set.
Right. So it's
So I got a pack of Innistrad, Dark Ascension, Avacyn Restored, Return of Ravnica, Gate Crash, Dragon's
wow, that
Maze.
seems crazy.
It was weird.
The possibilities for Boros though.
Yeah, like Boros.
If you open like a Gold Knight Commander or something.
Yeah. Well, what I really wanted to do was like I was talking with our friend Inkwell Looter before it started. He was actually playing in the main event, and we're like, what would be sweet, like red green werewolf with the combination of Gruul would be so much fun. And I was like,
sick.
ooh, yeah, okay. I hope I have that pool, and I did not have that pool. My pool was crap. I won the first round because I was up against somebody who's like never played before, and then just lost the next 2 rounds. And I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done with this for now. So I dropped out of that, and then did 2 drafts. I made it to the finals in 1 and lost, and I made it to the finals in 1 in the next. And drafting, it's so much fun. I love this set.
What happened in the finals of the draft that you won?
I went up against a fan. So I didn't actually realize he didn't make himself known until I think the second round, like who he was and that he knew me. And and before I forget, so many people came up to me.
That's awesome.
And were like, I between the end of standard sealed and the draft I did way into fire, I sat in sort of a spot that wasn't like super busy, and I just tweeted like, I'm here, and like 30 or 40 people like over the course of like a half an hour like, hey, Friday nights is awesome. I'm like,
That's so cool.
And it was super cool. So I went up against a fan in the final round of this draft, and I ended up winning, but not before he at the end when I swung for lethal, not before he went tap tap concede. And with 2 actual, like he had 2 lands up, he actually just said tap tap concede, and then just scooped up his cards, and I was like, oh, that was flawless. Like, and he had me too, and I was just like, my heart jumped, and I was like, oh, did I just lose by? Because I was like, I think I have this. He has 1 card in hand.
And if you hadn't won it on that turn,
I think it probably could have kept going, but it would have been bad for me, especially if he had a removal spell or somehow 2-for-1 me at that point.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is not good.
so the tapping totally faked you out.
Freaked the shit out of me, and I was like, oh god. And then he conceded, and I was like, oh, thank
Yes.
God. So,
Operating as intended.
yeah, so I won that draft. So the way GPs work normally is when you win a draft, you get free entry into any other event you want.
Oh, nice.
So I took that, and that was the last thing I did for the day. And then we went out for food and met up with the coverage guys and just chatted about Magic all night. And then came back the next day, and there's the Super Series on the Sunday at a lot of these events where they will have a standard and a sealed, and they'll take a top 4 from each, cut that, and that'll be your top 8.
Oh, cool.
And then the winner of that is invited to play in a tournament at Wizards of the Coast in January of next
wow.
year. So this is something that happens, I think, at most GPs. It's the Super Sunday Series, and for this one,
sort
it
of
was
a side
it was a
thing, no?
Super Sunday Sealed Series, which was always fun to say. So that was my big event of the weekend. I opened my pool. I really liked it. I ended up building the Borzhov deck.
This was DGM block sealed.
Yep, this is regular block sealed. So I built the sort of the black, red, white deck, and it was super aggressive, and I really liked it a lot.
I love those. thing.
It had the reach with the extort. I think I had like 5 extort guys in there.
Wow.
This sounds awesome,
And
James.
I had, it was a really cool deck, and I really liked it.
Did you tweet pictures of this deck?
I haven't, no, but I think I have them in my phone, or I think the deck is still together at my house, so I should.
We should put the deck list in the forum post for this.
Yeah, I will. So round 1 I won. Round 2 I won, and I was feeling pretty good. Round 3 I lost in like a super tight match against, I can't remember his name, which is unfortunate, but he was European, and I don't remember from where. But I think he was a higher level player who had lost in day 1 of the event, so he was just playing in side events. I can't remember his name though. It's annoying. So I lost that in some really close games, and we went to 3. And I was at 2-1 at that point, and then I won the 4th round quite handedly, and then lost the following 2. So I was at 3-3, and I think there was 2 or 3 rounds left. I was tired and I was hungry at this point, and I had no chance of making it into any sort of serious prizes. So I was just like, I'm going to drop out of this. The Mini Masters tournament starts really soon.
Nice.
That's a fun way to end off, because at this point it's like 5 o'clock in the day. The GP is almost over, and all the side events are closing up. So I'll do one more sort of Mini Masters event, and that'll be my GP. The Mini Masters thing was so stupid. So this is dumb. So it's a single elimination tournament, and for that to happen, you have to have the right number of people.
Right.
To be able to go from, let's say, 64 to 32 to 16
Right.
to 8
Yeah.
to 2. Yeah, to 4 to 2. They didn't have that number. So their solution was to... So $10, you get 2 packs, you make a 30-card deck.
Okay.
You win, you get another pack, you get to add to it.
Right.
Always has to stay at 30, though.
Okay.
Can never make it bigger. So, but their solution, because they had, I think, about 8 people... They had 8 people too many.
Okay.
To work out really well. So what they ended up doing is they gave 90 goddamn % of the field a bye in the first round, and put up, and there was 8 matches to get rid of 8 people, so they had the right number to just actually continue in round 2.
So they basically just did like a little side game.
They did a little side game to be like, we signed up too many people, 8 of you need to leave, so we're just going to have 8 matches, and you guys are gone.
Were you one of those?
I was one of those people.
Did you lose?
I lost.
Oh!
My packs were terrible. My deck was bad. But what really got me, what really pissed me off, is just the way they went about that. It's just like,
I mean, you didn't play any less than you would have.
You should. I mean,
no,
they
but
shouldn't have signed up the 8 extra people.
They shouldn't have signed up the 8 extra people. But what really got me is that basically 95% of the field signed up for this thing, paid $10, and got 3 packs. 8 people.
Oh, right, because
Everybody who got a bye technically won in their first round, so they all got a pack.
Oh, that's
so I was one of 8 who paid $10 for 2 packs, whereas everybody else paid $10 and got 3 packs.
That's lame.
And that wasn't what it like. That didn't actually annoy me. It wasn't the big deal. It was just like the organization.
That's
It's just
also
like,
And also, 95% of the field has to then wait. to
that's
start.
also
Yeah,
like
exactly.
not good return for them,
no,
because ordinarily they'd only be giving a third pack to 32 people.
exactly.
But here they're giving
They're-
a pack to 56 people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's-
It was
Huh.
weird.
Apart from that,
So Inkwell was in that one with me. We both joined it, and he went to the top 16, which was a lot of fun to watch him.
Nice.
So after I crashed and burned, I just sort of stuck with him and watched him go, which was super fun.
Nice.
But no, apart from that, that was sort of the GP. That was the first time. That was the 4th GP I've gone to. It's the first time I went without partaking in the main event, and I would highly suggest it to anybody. If a GP is in your area, and even if you don't want to play, let's say, standard or modern, or I don't think there's really anything else. I don't think they do legacy GPs anymore.
But just the side
just go.
events
Just the
are
side
well
event.
worth
It's just
the-
it's a super fun place to hang out. You're like in a room with 1,000. Like there was 900 something players.
maybe there'll be
at the
some artists
GP.
there.
There were lots of vendors, lots of artists, just lots of fun people to hang out with and
It's
play
like a
Magic.
little mini
so
convention
it
just for
absolutely
Magic.
is. So
Yeah.
I would definitely suggest go to a GP if you can.
Sweet.
It's not out of your range.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are like, "Ooh, that's kind of big. Like I've only gone to FNM a couple times," but no,
There's plenty of like.
just go.
Basically, what you're saying is, even if you're a more casual player,
Yeah.
you can still go have lots of fun.
Exactly, because
not playing high stakes matches.
all the side events except for the
You could just play 2 solid days of FNM.
Yeah, you could. And except for the Sunday, the sealed series, the Super Sunday series, everything is run at sort of a casual level.
Nice.
Nothing's competitive.
Nice.
So all the rules are pretty relaxed. You make a mistake, chances are your opponent will be like, yeah, that's fine. I know I did a couple times. They're like, ooh, I tapped my mana wrong, or I didn't mean to play this. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. So
Yeah, I mean, you're not
Go.
playing in the actual GP.
no, exactly. There's not thousands of dollars online. There's like 4 packs. But the best part, but if you win, game it right. So I won that draft. I won that $15 entry draft, or I won the draft that cost me $15 to get into. I used the free entry to get into the $30 sealed event. Do it right.
Chain it.
Yeah, chain it so you're getting value.
That sounds like tons of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Just a quick note: demonic consultation. That is a instant for 1 black or for just black, and that is this. It is an instant that is the same as
That's the one.
that guy's power.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
So it's basically worse in every way. Because the other one is an
Strictly worse.
The other one's an instant. This
You
guy
have to play him, and then he has
this
to.
guy costs 2. He has to tap to do it, so he has summoning sickness.
Yeah,
And it costs 2 to activate the ability.
and you have to discard a card.
Yeah, and you have to discard a card.
Yeah, and you have to discard a card. And the number of times, like, the only advantage to this guy is that to the divining witch
Is that it's repeatable?
is that it's repeatable, but
How many times do you want
it's
to do
so
that?
dangerous to do it even once that repeating it is just a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right.
Demonic consultation.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
Run
one
that, not divining witch.
Yeah. All right. So
Probably you shouldn't run either unless you have a really good reason for it.
thank you guys for listening. What we've learned today is that Nemesis is weird and that you should definitely check out a GP.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening to Tap Tap Concede, and we will talk to you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.